Alright, we've all bought something in life expecting it to make us better as a person, or make us excel in sports. I mean, for those of us who do play sports, there's always cleats out there that cost like $200. Basketball shoes cost $200. Like all these expensive things that are supposed to make us a better person. But that hard work, like we know, it comes from within. The quote I chose, or that was given to me, was guns don't kill people, people do. My interpretation of that is, we need to, us as people, we need to put in work, if you will, to get results. You can't just leave it to an object to do the work for you and to actually make you a better player in football, basketball, whatever it may be. And so I'm going to use two examples from my personal life. One being actually my experience buying some sports gear, and second, my car. So we go back to my junior year of high school. I'm in volleyball. I was in volleyball that year. I bought some KD9s. Super cool shoes, super comfy. They were the kind of it shoe. And for volleyball, like every person in volleyball, we just get basketball shoes. We don't get like volleyball shoes, if you will. But I got that shoe. I'm like, hell yeah, it's gonna be dope. I'm gonna have better traction. I'm gonna be able to do this. These different things. But at the end of the day, I was still on JV as a junior, straight up. So yeah, I might have had the cleanest looking shoes on the court. But at the end of the day, I was still on bench. JV, junior year. Varsity, they went on to win a ring that year, and it's like I didn't put in that work to actually be on varsity. I didn't get that ring, and those kinds of things. Like again, it comes from the person within. You need to put in that work in order to actually get the results. You can't just buy things expecting to get the results. Second, my car. All right, so I started working about a year ago. My dad gave me a 2003 Pathfinder, an SUV, and it was like, I was kind of disappointed. I've always been in cars, he's always been in cars. I was expecting maybe something like, a bit better, if you will. And, sounds like I'm complaining, but it's just the whole car thing, the way I was brought up, if you will. So, with that SUV, I'd be able to take people in the car. It was relatively big, not the nicest car, but, it was, I could bring people on my car. And after I worked up a bit, I'm like, you know what? I could have a little bit of money. I'm gonna go out and buy a car. I went out. I want to say I saved up $1,000 in a month. I just hustled that month. I didn't spend like a dime on anything. With a little help from my mom and that $1,000 I had, put a down payment on a 2011 BMW 335i. It's a two-door coupe, and once I got that car, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be like flyest guy at school and all that stuff. And group, everyone's gonna want to ride in my car and all that stuff. That wasn't the case. Turns out I had more people in the SUV than I did in the other car, because I could only fit 3 other people in my car, and that kind of got me into problems with other people, because there's times where we'd all go to said place or Sky. There was one time we went to Sky Zone, and we were over there, I have friends that are like 6'1", 6'2", and all that stuff, right? Essentially, they were trying to jam all those guys that, my friend Austin, 6'3", my friend Torres, 6'2", and this other guy, Ray, I barely knew him, was like 6'1". They're all trying to jam him in my car, and I'm like, it's not gonna work. The car is small. While my other friend, he's driving his dad's 7 Series, and they have all these kind of, bigger cars, and, we kind of got in an argument over that, and, because I just didn't want to take people. Well, they wouldn't fit, and that actually caused problems from within. So instead of actually, I guess, working on myself to build a better relationship with my friends, I kind of maybe messed it up a bit by concentrating too much on work to actually make the payment for the car and that kind of stuff. So in conclusion, if you set a gun on the table, it's not gonna shoot anyone. You buy a pair of of gloves that are super sticky. It's not going to help you catch the ball. You know, it may help you a little bit, but at the end of the day, Butterfingers is still not going to catch it. And so at the end of the day, you just got to put in the work, and you can't just buy things. Thank you.
All right, well, I like the reference to things at the beginning. I was a little unclear how I was going to tie into the topic, but you did have an explanation about that, and I like the fact that you came back to that at the end, so that helps tie things together a little bit more. The structure is basically just the examples, which is okay. At least we can see that there's a distinct way that you're going to be talking about this. You have nice details on the stories that you're telling. You've got details about the vehicles that you're talking about. You got details about the shoes that you were talking about in the first section. I liked all of that, and you also had fun telling that story. And I think people enjoyed the reveal that you gave about being on the JV in your junior year, and it goes, well, you know, yeah, I got the fly shoes, but boy, you know, I'm still on the JV. I think people kind of appreciate that. Your facial expressions are engaging. Your eye contact is a little inconsistent. You do look out at the audience pretty regularly, but you also look kind of off to the side and up and around just about as much. So although your face is very involved in what you're talking about, your eyes are kind of darting around the place, and I think maybe a little bit more, you could be a little bit more engaging. But it wasn't a big problem. It's just something that you might want to pay attention to a little bit more in the future. Nice, thank you.